What's up? Your girl is back. Now, wait a minute. You already know. You already know that if you're an Aquarius, ghosting, disappearing, being MIA is pretty normal, okay? I have this theory that if an Aquarius doesn't disappear at least sometime, something ain't right. Something's wrong with that Aquarius because that means they're not going off and doing what we do. you know? So I am back. Thank you so much to everyone. A lot of you already know. I went to Philadelphia. That's why I've been going so long. I went to Philadelphia to meet my nephew for the very first time. In the community section, I shared lots of pictures of him. He is so cute, right? So I went to go see him because he was just born in August, and I had never met him before. And I wanted to go see him and hold him, and give him some love. And I went to Philadelphia. I was having a wonderful time, y'all. I went to a Halloween party. I was dancing. I was drinking. I was having a great time. At the end of the trip, after I had spent all my money, it's time for me to go home. I got sick as a dog. Do you hear me? I was so sick that my doctor told me that I needed to stay an extra week and recuperate. So many of you know about that because you sent donations, you sent prayers, you sent positive energy, you sent kind words, and I laid there sick, reading everything. I didn't respond to everything because I was too weak, but I did read everything. I had a stomach virus, so if you're in the East Coast, watch out for that stomach virus. It lasted almost 2 weeks, and I ain't never had no stomach virus last that long. Usually they last like a hot couple days, But my doctor, because I ended up in the emergency room, my doctor shout out to the emergency room, Chestnut Hill Hospital in Philadelphia. Shout out. They got me in and out. They were so professional, so compassionate, and they really helped me. But it came out that it was a stomach virus. So I was scared. I was so scared. I was sick. I was really sick and I was scared. But I'm okay. Goddess was not done with me yet. So I'm back. So today we're going to have a very interesting conversation because while I was recuperating, I had a conversation with a 27-year-old Aquarius who wants to be a sex worker. She's very attractive. She's a self-proclaimed nymphomaniac, and she wants me to talk about Aquarius as sex workers. So that's what we're going to do. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for the wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. I haven't got to say that in a long time. So let me see. Let me see if I can remember all the instructions. So first of all, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to everybody and anybody that you know. That helps us a lot. Please drop us some positive comments in the comment section. What else you need to do? Go underneath this video because you're going to find all of my information. So if you want to get a reading done, or if you would like to join us on Patreon, if you want to send me a gift for Christmas, my Amazon wish list is underneath this video. Let me see what else. There's a lot of stuff underneath this video. So resources for you too underneath this video. Some videos and books and things that I put underneath here on dealing with narcissists and things along those lines. But there's a lot underneath this video. So let's get started. Okay, so homegirl hit me up, 27 years old, Aquarius, and she said to me, Queen, is sex work a good job for an Aquarius? And I'm like, ooh, man. Because listen, there are a lot of reasons why the answer is yes. A lot of them. But there's also a lot of reasons why the answer is no. So let's get into the yeses and the nos, okay? First of all, Aquarius love to be in charge. We love to be independent. We love to do work that doesn't really involve having to deal with other people. So if you're an Aquarius, and you're doing sex work, like for instance OnlyFans, okay, or something that you're in charge, because if you're doing OnlyFans, you're in charge of your content, you're in charge of what goes out, you're in charge of the money, An Aquarius would like something like that, being in charge of everything. It's kind of like what I do. Everything that I do, I'm in charge of everything. I'm the creative director, I'm the photographer, I'm the sound person, I'm everything. So an Aquarius doing OnlyFans or something where they were in charge of everything like that, I think would work out pretty good. I really do, because you'd be in charge of everything. Now, if you had to work with other people, you're going to run into the same Aquarius problems of working with other people, especially if you're working, let's say, for like a production company that does adult entertainment. Let's say, for example, you have a creative director. You have to do what they tell you to do. You're going to have to listen to them. Somebody else is producing. Somebody else is directing. It's not just, like she said, I'm a nymphomaniac. It's not just getting in bed, having a good time, and having sex. They're going to be stopping it. They're going to be making you change angles. They're going to be bringing in a bigger fan. Like, it's not going to be just a fun time in your room, in your bed, with somebody that you like playing with. It's work. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's why I said if you're in charge, I think is something that you would enjoy a lot more as an Aquarius. Being totally in charge is going to be better. So for that reason, I would say if you're doing it that way, yes. The nymphomania, okay, so you might enjoy having sex. You might enjoy having multiple sex. You might even enjoy having sex with strangers or whatever. But if you're the creative person in charge, you get to say what you're comfortable doing and not. You see what I'm saying? So I feel good about that aspect of it. The part that I don't feel good about it is this. I feel like I know a lot of women who are sex workers. I know strippers. I know people who've done adult entertainment, like I mentioned with the production companies. I know people who, have been in different types of, pay-to-play relationships and things along those lines. I've heard it all. I'm a tarot reader. I've heard it all, But my thing is that when you talk to these people, some of them regret it. And I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why. And some of them love it. They love it. They love the freedom that it brings. They love the money that it brings. They love it. And it all depends on their personality. So that first thing I said about Aquarius, that's something that will help you be able to love it. Now, the ones that regret it, and this is an Aquarius consideration as well, are the ones that say things to me like, I hope my grandma don't find my OnlyFans. People like that. Some of those kinds of people do end up regretting it later because somebody does find their OnlyFans or somebody does be smart and send their news to their dad. You know what I'm saying? I remember this one chick. She was a porno star. And she was talking about how her father was in prison. And she was a famous star. Her name was Pinky. Some of y'all probably know Pinky. Those of y'all that are into watching that. And I remember watching her talk about how her father was in jail and somebody had her tape. And her father was like, oh my God, he didn't mind that she was doing it. That, he felt as though that was her business, which is actually a good, way for him to take it. But it was just the fact that somebody is showing, dudes looking at his little girl, So is that going to bother you? You're 27 years old. Is that going to bother you? And she doesn't have any kids right now. So if you have children, and they see your booty in the air in 20 years, is that going to bother you? In 300 years, if your great-great-grandchildren dig up your old tapes, is that going to bother you? Because the answer for some people is no. Some Aquarius would be like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care what nobody say. And that's cool if that's how you feel. But you have to ask yourself, how do you feel about it now? How might you feel about it later? Because remember I said people told me they regretted it, and some of them that was why. The one young lady told me she regretted it because she knew her children might find it. What if your kid is at school and some bully is like, ooh, I saw your mama, I saw your daddy, So that's why I'm saying you have to think about it long and hard, because some people would not care about any of that stuff. There are Aquarius I know who would not care about any of that. But there are Aquarius, and they're going to be in this comment section, I'm telling you right now, that would be like, heck to the no, I'm not doing that. and it's based off of these reasons. So do I think sex work is a good job for an Aquarius? Yeah. If it's an Aquarius who is in charge of the whole thing, and it's an Aquarius that is mentally, remember we're mental. So if you're mentally okay with it, then it's fine. Because if you're not, then it could cause mental health issues later on down the line. And remember, when you're doing something like OnlyFans, you can be with other people or you can just be by yourself, doing things within yourself, and putting them out there. So, yeah, but I just think that it's really important for you to consider all the factors before you get started, because some people will be like, well, I'm going to go make this money, and I'm the kind of person that's always like, go get your bag, but logical. Aquarius is logical. You have to think. You have to think your way through it. And if you think your way through it and you think about all those factors and you're good with it, then that's fine. Because remember when I talked about earlier about the people who worked with the production companies, one of the things that I did not like was that they had to be with whoever the production company wanted in the movie. So, and they were all being tested. That was something I liked. They were being tested to make sure their bodies were clean. I like that too. That's a very important factor. If you're going to do something like that, if you're going to use other people, they need to be clean. And it don't need to be like, oh, they said they had a test last week. Like, these people were tested. They had to bring in their results, So I would suggest that too, to make sure that it's a clean kind of thing. But she was saying that even with that, you couldn't say, oh, I want him as a co-star or I want her as a co-star. The production company, the director, they were the ones that were calling the shots. So again, remember I said about calling the shots? That was another thing that people didn't like, is that they might have to be with somebody that they don't want to be with. You might be looking like, I don't know, And remember with sex is an exchange of energy. So you don't want to exchange energy with everybody. You never know what that person has going on. So that's my thing about the whole thing. I'm not against sex work, as you probably can see from what I'm talking about. I'm not against it. I'm not against any kind of work, really. The only thing I'm against are things that hurt people. If you're harming other people, then I'm against it. But if you're not harming people, I don't really care what you do. I'm not against that. I talk to a lot of people who do things like that, like I said earlier, and I've had conversations with these people. We've talked about different things, and remember I said some of the people are really like, they love the freedom of it. They love that aspect of it. They're happy about that. They love their job, and if you love your job, then who am I? Who am I to be like, oh, you shouldn't do that job? Some people often ask me, is it a self-respect thing? Does this person not respect themselves? Well, some of them do. Some of them have a great amount of self-love for themselves. And they just enjoy this kind of work. They enjoy it for freedom. They enjoy it because they like being seen naked. Some of them like their bodies, They like that kind of attention. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But you are the one that has to live with it. So I would say, think about the things that I say here. Read the comments in the comments section and be kind in the comments section, please. And see what it is that you think you feel. Because ultimately, this is a very personal decision that nobody can make for you. Okay? All right. Thanks for that awesome question. Now, we're going to take a look, because I would like to do some positive comments. I've been gone for a while. So here's one from Zippy Keithy 2589. Hey, Zippy said, when will they understand you can't play an Aquarius? It's definitely not advisable. It's definitely not advisable, especially if the Aquarius finds out. Nova Mundi Tarot. Hello, Nova Mundi Tarot. Covert narcissist is the worst type of narcissist. Oh my God, Becky. Yes. Love your tiara and your personality and those two dolls in the background. New sub. Thank you so much. I think they are the worst kind. You know why? Because they pretend to be normal. They pretend to be good people a lot of times too. The overt narcissists, you can tell that they're bizarre. The malicious ones, you can tell they're bizarre. But the covert ones, they fake it too well, you know? So I agree with that 100%. All right. You guys come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.